while you were waiting for the marriage to be approved by your parents?
My family just entrusted my responsibility to my aunt and said, you convince her. She called both of us and said, guys, you should not do anything on your own but wait. I am trained to do excellent Telugu cooking, food that I have learned from my mother-in-law because I have not learned any Gujarati cooking at home.
What was the biggest challenge you have faced?
And major inheritance I lost actually. My father died early and I was not given my due. Money was not the end thing for both of us. We created our bread and butter.
Hi viewers, welcome to aakeru News. We know that weavers are the pride of India, but right now conditions are not saying so because weavers are backward and we don't know why they are backward and how we can make them again the pride of India. So discuss on these topics we have the designer, very prominent designer, Bina Rao garu. So Bina Rao ji founded Creative Bee, where they only support the eco-friendly, sustainable fashion. So let's talk to her and make this conversation a great one. Hi ma'am, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
We would like to know about the childhood and the inspirations and motivations that brought you to this place.
I am born in South Gujarat in a town called Valsad and a village Damrachi, which I am very proud of and I love that village. My parents, Dr. Manibhai Desai and Mrs. late Damayanti Ben Desai, and I have one brother. So I am born in the family of mango king, you can call him, because he had thousands of acres of mango plantations. He inherited from his family, my father.
Okay.
And then so I grew up in this very beautiful little mansion, which is like a haveli. In Gujarat, many havelis are there. And I used to have not many friends around. And so my art and music and my love for all creative activity just grew because I was maybe talented in art. So also my father supported every activity of mine. So Bombay being close by, getting a non-stop flow of canvases and paints and drawing books and So then from that stage I was fortunate to get admission in College of Fine Arts in Baroda, which is MS University, very famous.
Quick question in here. You have gone into these institutions like NIT, Fine Arts of Baroda. So all these are very prestigious institutions where there's a lot of competition.
Yes.
And I heard that you have never prepared for entrance exams or anything. It's just came to you, the way by your talent. It's purely talent.
Yeah.
So can you share that experiences?
Yes, like Baroda Fine Arts, of course, I had just gone to visit along with my aunt and uncle because they are from Baroda. They saw me in the holidays when they came, they saw me drawing and making paintings at home. So they told my parents that, we have a very prestigious school and she must study there. So let her come with us. And so that was my first day in the campus and I was literally, I said, I belong here. I want to join this institute and learn art further, And then I think a week later was the entrance application and exam. So I didn't prepare, or in those days there were no coaching classes for art and design. So that was my 5 years of my graduation, because those days, post 11th standard, there were 5 years graduation in fine arts. And then 2 years of post-graduation, which is where I met Keshav Rao, who did his graduation from Hyderabad and came to Baroda for post-graduation because not many institutes offered post-graduation. Only Baroda MS University and Shantiniketan offered the PGs.
Yeah, Kolkata Shanti.
Yeah, Kolkata. Right. So that was the phase. Then when it comes to NID, I didn't have plans to become a textile designer. My family wanted me to go abroad to Europe to study further, and art, Europe is France and Netherlands are the best places. But then NID happened. I didn't go abroad, but instead friends helped me to apply at NID and even that was without any preparation. I was just selected. There was one lecturer from abroad in the team of jury. Her name is Helena, and she said, let's see how an artist will become a textile designer.
Yeah, basically you have done your BFA and MFA in painting.
Painting.
In NID there is a chance where you can go to some other course.
Yes.
But you chose textile. Is there any particular reason, or you just...
Actually, while at Fine Arts, I loved wearing handloom saris, and as a child, I was always wearing khadi frocks because my parents believed in Gandhian philosophy or way of life. So they wore khadi. My father wore khadi always, all his life. And so I was also made to wear khadi frocks, and as a baby. And in Fine Arts College, we all had flair to buy the handloom sari, team it up with a very contrasting handloom blouse, which we would get in a local tribal market of Baroda, Jawad prints. Okay. And team it up and wear sari and kurta on jeans, My likeness for handloom grew that way. And at NID, when I went to textile department, I saw that there are so many sample looms there. So the main activity there was weaving, and that really attracted me. And that's how I took textiles as my major.
That's really great, actually. That's how you
yes,
came up till this.
That's how creativity was born, probably,
While you were at waiting for the marriage to be approved by your parents, you chose to become a textile designer.
Exactly.
How the circumstances changed and you got married, and how this creative bee has formed, and how the Hyderabad experience, because as a Gujarati girl and you have always been into the northern states, and as a Bahu you came to the
yes.
southern place. So what was the biggest challenge you have faced?
A lot of elders, my family had all, my aunt was a collector, and my family just entrusted my responsibility to my aunt and said, you convince her or you counsel her and all. So she told us, she called both of us and said, guys, you should not do anything on your own but wait. So in that process of waiting, then I studied, right? After my studies, a time came when we felt that still family is not ready, and a lot of our good well-wishers and guardians in Ahmedabad felt that time is just running out and these kids should get married. So they took the initiative, they got us married first, and then we informed the family, and then not to harm the family's reputation. So we then gave a chance to family to perform an official marriage for us. And it was partly Telugu way, partly Gujarati way, and then reached Hyderabad with a lot of desire to work, because by then I had studied handloom of Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
Yeah, because at NID you are taught theory of, by then I knew the textiles of India as technically and theoretically, and
now it's your real-time experience.
My real-time experience. And then my son was born, and he was just 2.5 years old when I took up a consulting assignment from APCO. Then APCO never had export division, so then I was instrumental in helping the government to set up the export department and started doing modern designs, and but not language is my barrier. I couldn't speak Telugu. I'm traveling to villages, but
villages they don't have proper
English, but it's only the body language.
Correct.
Nowadays we say a lot of body language make a lot of sense. Correct. So those days weavers understood my body language, that I am there to help them. So not the language but the body language. Yeah, and somehow we strike the balance between what I am trying to tell them and what they have to do. As years passed by, from my consulting experience, I wanted to have a real-time production experience. As a designer, there is a craving. The creative keeda bolte hai na, jisko the bug, the creative bug was bugging me, saying you have to make unique textiles, and there is so much possibility because it's handloom. It's not like industry where you have to make 1,000 meters in one go. You could make small quantities and experiment in. So that is where my R&D, extensive R&D began. I told my husband continue doing his art. He's done a very remarkable body of work on Gandhiji's South Africa phase to Hey Ram phase, and all charcoal and oil pastels and large canvases, and I convinced him to help me in textiles, and by then
he agreed.
we were struggling artist and designer in this city. Though I may be a daughter of a landlord, he may be a son of a also very wealthy farmer community there. But end of the day, we decided to make our own life. We didn't want to ask for any help. Even my own inheritance, I didn't claim, and major inheritance I lost actually, because things happened such a way that my father died early, and I was not given my due, whatever I was supposed to get. But then money was not the end thing for both of us, and we believed in creating livelihood. So we created our bread and butter, and then in the process we started helping artisan. We taught them better use of their skill so that they can earn better. So that has been the formula for setting up Creative Bees handloom production. Then he did lot of R&D for natural dyes, because Machilipatnam dyes were almost losing its originality, authenticity and color fastness. And when you study the history, like I've been studying history and seeing that just 80 years ago we were thriving Indian trade textiles,
Right.
and now we are struggling to get our own market. So I said, let's do some R&D, because weaving is now under control, but I need to make value addition to my woven fabrics. I need to create prints, or I need to create shibori, tie-dye, something, and I need colors. And then he got interested because he's an artist, so anything to do with color fascinates him.
Correct.
But it was a long way,
Yeah.
because then colors had to be standardized. But what we did 10 years ago is now we have the fruit of it. Creative Bees production base was made such a way that it would do best quality, pay best wages, and find the best clients.
Ma'am, there are 3 divisions to Creative Bee.
Yeah.
You were into a consulting part and the designing part, and you're on the front part.
Yeah.
Totally. And your husband is always in the research part and developing the colors and natural things and everything.
Yeah.
So he's into research and development of that part.
Yeah.
So how you both made a good farm with people, with weavers, and also what are the divisions that you have in the Creative?
No, so Creative Bee, he didn't like the management part, neither I did. But then how do you run a company? Because see, anything you produce become a business when it comes to sell. Anything you produce, you have to market. So management. So one of us had to take it, and he being so much involved in the art. So I said, okay, you doing art and the farm and the dyes and all, and I am good at communication. I am trained at NID. NID trained us from art.
In every aspect.
Yeah, from art, the transition to a designer is nothing but a training to project your ideas in a better way.
Correct.
Putting it on a presentable manner. So that is what the skill that I have learned at NID, and that's how management, meeting clients, all that started happening. But he is also majorly into training. We both are into training. Last 3 years my son came back, so he is into strategy of the whole company, as how which area should do what. And
So he is also an artist, your son?
no, he's biotech sciences, and then he's gone to Cardiff University and did his English literature.
2 different aspects.
Yeah, and also, but he's so creative. He's done literature,
Obviously.
so he has a command of the language, and also as today's generation, he needs to be occupied, so he's doing a lot of other activities simultaneously. He does consulting for other companies in different strategic concepts, and Creative Bees export and online is set up by him.
Oh,
And,
okay.
export was happening, but now majorly
On a
he is
bigger
working.
scale.
And also the projects.
Right.
Training projects are long and 1 year long and extensive. So there he is like a project coordinator, and the whole strategy of the project he makes. And my husband is a senior consultant like me only. So I do international weaving related projects. He will do international dye related projects, and even within the country. Also craft is very dear to our heart because we are artists.
Yeah.
So all along these years we have promoted craft. If you see in Creative Bee, you will find beautiful handicraft examples, baskets and wooden etikopaka products that we have designed for a certain client, and we have trained a whole lot of artisan, thousands of artisan in a facility that is created at farm. Because we have trained also other country artisan, Thailand, Malaysia, and we learned that we need little sophisticated hand tools for our artisan to make good corporate kind of products in craft. So craft became also our passion. So it is too much work constantly, and also in education my interest. I want the young designers to, so I am affiliated with so many institutes in various capacities. Now there is an institute from Milan that has opened its branch in Bombay, and they are asking me to go for a day's session there, to do 1 day session on textile appreciation. And all that, so our interests are so diversified. But one thing I have realized, that because the interests are diversified, it is getting the benefits from different angle to the business, and it's organically grown business. There is an opportunity for it to grow manifold if we bring in a corporate kind of governance, if we bring in more investment, if we join hands with
this
other
is
people.
where your initiation Kabir comes up from.
Yes, I mean, if I do that for my company and I try to grow my company, there are two damages that would happen. One is that I would compromise on my creative time and my creative satisfaction, because then I would still become more busy on the business front.
Yes.
And also my family and my
Correct. You'll
because
be more
I give
occupied.
equal time to my family. I still want to. I'm trained to do excellent Telugu cooking food that I have learned from my mother-in-law, because I have not learned any Gujarati cooking at home. And I make amazing chutneys and sambar, and also my morning 2 hours time is for my cooking and family. Though I have help in the kitchen, I have cook, but there are certain things that only I like to do. I am very much keen to support whoever is working with us. Like, farm has a large community, their children, the women are there. Women are taught other skills like batik and shibori in the lockdown period,
Then what exactly is it?
Batik is a wax technique.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, wax resist.
Correct.
And shibori is what you see around me, the garment here and the sari there. So and what you are wearing is block printing.
This
Yeah, and that this particular piece of textile is endangered now. And there is a community, there's a tribal community in Bastar region, Chhattisgarh, a village called Kotpad, which was producing red dye from the root. And when I was setting up the stores, I was working as a consultant, I chanced upon this village. Since then I have supported the community, but by now there are only about 18 families left. And now the all tree are also depleting. So Rao, my husband Keshav Rao, has taught the community to make indigo. So if you see in Creative Bee store or online, you will see red and white combination product. Also our politicians, women politicians have been wearing Kotpad sarees earlier.
Right.
But now that community is endangered because there is no support system reaching there. So if you see, the product is so beautiful, the motifs are all very naive. We, as a designer, I have not interfered anywhere in the weaving or the pattern, but only the quality and the color that has been,
Yes.
So there are many more endangered textiles in India.
So
And
what
the
are
call
your,
for
interventions to prevent it? India is very well known in other countries for our heritage, for our handlooms.
Yes, I mean the whole history of trade textiles of India or Silk Route or before till we got independence, till East India Company existed, we have a very thriving trade happening between India and other countries, and it was a rage of Indian textiles, and we were the trendsetters in Europe, because till Indian textiles reached Europe, they were wearing only grey, black, aakeru is like off-white. These colors.
Correct.
Only Indian prints, Indian designs landed onto the European shores and started influencing the fashion trends.
We made other countries more colorful.
Yeah, so now is the time. Now the countries, the world is coming back to sustainable, biodegradable fashion, slow fashion. So let's cash on it.
Yes.
All our designers and artisan and everyone work towards it. All corporates, please focus their CSR funds to this cause.
Yes.
And we can make it in next 20 years. We'll be on the world map again, thriving.
Correct. We have all the access.
But I won't be there.
Right?
post 20 years. So my
No
last
wonder.
leg, my last effort is my formula of Kabir, which would bridge the corporate and the artisan sector.
Ma'am, as the final question, I would like you to elaborate about Kabir.
After advising the government, being on government bodies, running my own company, and I made the best handloom textile and put it to the world. Multi-chain companies are my clients now today. A Japanese company which has 160 stores is our client today. After doing all these things, when I look back, I think that it's just the contribution which is drop in the ocean.
Yes.
And rapidly we are losing handloom. More so, we need to adapt a formula where hundreds of villages produce non-designer textiles. The textile which is produced without any designer intervention, what they have been producing for years.
Right.
Earlier there was a local demand. Now there is no local demand in their immediate surrounding because of the yarn cost going high. There is a GST on the yarn and many other issues. So these products need to come to the mainstream retail market because there is a class of buyers who don't really care whether it is a designer handloom or not, but they want lovely prints, they want nice, as
The
I told,
garment should be beautiful and presentable.
they want kalamkari of Machilipatnam, they want bobali sari,
Correct.
they want karaikudi sari. These are all traditional saris. They want it. They are teachers, they are lecturers, they are scientists. They want to wear these textiles. Where do you find them? You may find them in stores where the
Cost is
markup
too
has
high.
gone very high. That is not because the big company is making huge profit. That is because the procurement system, there is a
Right.
flaw in the procurement system, which is what I am trying to correct. And in the process, a corporate company and weavers and a corporate company can train local youth for procurement and have a direct channel, direct supply channel to their retail stores.
Right.
This is the formula, and whatever you name it. And to prove that, I had to launch that formula. I had launched it in Delhi
Oh,
3 years ago in my own store, which was at a very prime location between two big brands. People, they didn't know Creative Bee as well as the other brands. They didn't know Bina Rao. They didn't know Kabir. But whenever they just saw something new, they just walked in and went out with bags full of purchases. Because the price difference between same product which is sold elsewhere was about 40 to 60%.
right. Even now, handlooms, for an average person, handloom, we think it is pretty costly. Rather than we can go for a...
Exactly.
So your formula is, it's kind of a protocol. It should become a protocol.
I mean, it can be a movement, if not a protocol, because what people want, we are not been able to fulfill the demand. And where is the missing link?
Yes.
The missing link is that handloom should be procured at a right price, and nourishment to the handloom sector is timely payment.
Right.
No rejections for minor faults. You can put my Creative Bee tag. If you read, it says all irregularities of weave and print is the character of handloom. So that's a disclaimer.
Wonderfully said.
Yeah, that's my disclaimer.
Right.
So you are buying my product and it is hand woven, and as I told you, if it remain on a loom for 30 days where children are playing, if it is printed in my dye farm where also children are playing, birds are there around, animals are around, and something can get damaged also, you know.
Correct.
And the minimal damage or minimal flaw is the character of handmade, otherwise it would look like a machine made.
True, true.
Yeah.
Ma'am, for the final piece,
Yeah.
I want you to give your opinion or your suggestion to the weavers or the people
Yeah.
who want to become designers.
Under my foundation, Creativity Foundation, my latest initiative, if God give me energy, is that I want education for senior women citizen and senior women vendors, because I see that women weavers first and foremost are not being able to save money.
Right.
They work hard, but there is no money next day in their hand. So why it is like that? Now you have so many other different modes of banking services, savings, you know, but that education of opening your bank account, even that much is lacking.
True.
So education to people who have missed the bus of education in their youth. That is my latest activity that I want to carry out in my foundation, and whoever wants to support that cause, because you know, minimal education, they know how to read and write, right?
Right.
It's only training them for certain procedures, like how to fill up the online
To catch
form,
up the
how
latest trends to
exactly,
survive.
because
on
you are
this-
becoming a technologically inclined country,
Correct.
and how can you leave your senior rural behind?
Exactly.
You can't, right?
Yes.
So
If
that's,
then we can't be developed,
yeah, we'll be always having
a burden on the shoulder.
exactly. Yeah. So that's my message to the weavers and community as a whole, to come together and go ahead for their own marketing.
Ma'am, this is a wonderful conversation, and thank you so much for your patience and the time that you have given us. It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So viewers, this is a conversation with designer Bina Rao. I hope you have enjoyed it, and we will meet again with one more great conversation. Till then, stay tuned to aakeru News English. Bye-bye.